Sporting the highest quality man. When it comes to the subject of marriage as it pertains to women seeking a spouse, it is of immense importance that she shops well, literally. Avoiding certain dealings during the assessment process and/or phase that could provoke lifetime consequences or regrettable burdens, which may in turn diminish her market and/or interest value as a woman, e.g., having kids out of wedlock, hence a lifetime tie with another outside her present engagement. A very disastrous move, as almost all men do not fancy that at all. To be honest, we almost all often flee from such responsibilities and complexities. Should you be so careless in any of the aforesaid regards, you thus have only yourself to blame, except in cases of rape, of course, which is sadly understandable. Making careful selection by discerning existing virtues and examining aspirations of prospects keeps your destination and vision somewhat aligned with your likely soulmate, an important ingredient for growth and understanding in this complex and/or sometimes complicated recipe called marriage. This will not only provide you a lasting peaceful relationship with a heightened possibility of tying the knot as an eventuality for such union types, but it will also make your natural ordained role less and/or possibly non-turbulent. Thus, this brings me to the question of how do you sport the highest quality man, that is, a man with a thoroughly finished character, understanding that you first have to be deserving, by taking the responsibility upon yourself to purge your mind and being of all deleterious mannerisms, and possibly, utterly, or as closely as possible, dissipate all the ill norms taught and conferred or adopted from today's evil society. Although we have the tendency of satisfying some of our superficial desires and/or carnal admirations in terms of looks and/or physique, for the best outcome, you must also be many times ready to compromise by trading off superficial and status-related qualities for more durable attributes and upheld standards that shapes a man's core beliefs and/or principles. These virtues are as follows. He should have an honest short or long track record, absent serious fault. His speech and core ideology must reflect a monogamous mindset, understanding that having more than one woman is a handful already. He must be watchful and thoughtful before actions, not easily stirred by emotions. He must have a positively admirable and exemplary personality. He must be willing to accept fault whenever he is wrong. A sincere mention of sorry should not be difficult for his lips to utter. Thus, he must be completely absent pride. He must be well-mannered and ethical in all his dealings and speech. His arms should readily give alms to the deserving without much thought or deliberation. His ways should reflect an identifiable sign of calmness in the midst of strength. This means, although he may have the heart of a lion and the fierceness of a beast, he is nonetheless able to rule his spirit perfectly, so much that he is ignorantly perceived by most as weak and/or feeble-minded. He has a keen ear always to listen, with few very meaningful and well-timed words that edify and/or appease the minds of many. Thus, a teacher at heart, always ready to render counsel, offer advice, guidance, and reprove softly. He does not flaunt his masculinity to the weak or in-house among those whom he loves, only when necessary. That is, when a stern correction is required to reprimand a serious fault. He may seldom drink, possibly in festivities, but he would rather abstain, as he understands that drunkenness and addiction destroys. He thus flees from actions that may result in the adoption of detrimental bad habits. His hands are always sheathed as a sword in a novice or civilian's possession, especially in matters that concerns his beloved second half. Rather than strike or spill milk, he will arduously and maturely inhale the battering of verbal assault from his significant other, then walk away and exhale the bad violent emotions that could have triggered abusive reactions and unretractable responses into the open air outside. Then return home with peaceful intentions in his heart. Such a man is extremely generous and never selfish in all aspects, even to a sacrificial extent. He never uses flatteries, but speaks truth in wisdom and in the right hour and fashion. He will never cheat another of what rightfully is theirs, nor be found in the congregation of those who take pleasure in such ills. He believes in the concept of the ordained order of family, but in his power and authority will nonetheless be a caring and soft-hearted leader. He is a man of responsibility whose words are like iron bands that can never be broken. Thus, you can trust his utterances and all promises at every turn. Lastly, he functions by a self-sworn code of fealty to his women in all stages of a relationship's timeline. A great man.